Morning check-in to the crew, guys. Morning routine done. Going getting my coffee and then sending out emails for the Zoom call tonight. Our last call for the 8-week course is tonight. Guys, I have a great presentation ready for you, but I want loads of questions as well. So I'm only going to chit-chat, I promise. There's only like 5 pages on the presentation. That's it. Because I want to give you tips and tricks of how to, like, setting yourself up for success. We're not going to call it week 9. We're going to call it week 1 because you're starting all over again. You're just rinsing and repeating the 8 weeks all over again. And I was listening to some great content this morning on love. And if I can, I don't want to ruin it now because I'm going to talk about this tonight on the call. But I have it all wrote down inside. I came back and I scribbled loads of information down. I was like, this is gold. So love is the potential to give somebody the power. Love is giving somebody the power to potentially destroy you. And because the age that we're at now, we've obviously encountered a lot of encounters with people with love that we went all in relationships. And now this is transferable over to jobs, to people, to friendships, to diets, to everything, to yourself. We went all in and with this thing, object, person, job or whatever, and they did potentially destroy us. And what happens then is that we can put up our barrier and potentially not give the power to somebody else again in the form of love or whatever that may be, in case we get destroyed again. And isn't that actually blocking us from potentially meeting either ourselves at a higher level, somebody else, a person, a thing or an object that might potentially fill up our bucket with love? And I was like, God, that is so powerful, because coming from a space where I've come from, and especially now next month, I will be a year single. And I definitely have a huge block put up where I'm overanalyzing things because I'm afraid of getting hurt. And like what I've learned from listening to this content that I've been listening to is I have to let down the wall. I have to give away my power to potential love and in the hopes that they won't destroy me. And I was like, but how can I go all in? Now, this is transferable. This is not about me now, this morning check-in. This is about ye, because I want to share this with ye. As in, how about if we dropped the wall, the protective wall and the protective barrier, and go all in and give the power away to your healthy habits. Give the power away to your morning routine. Give the power away to your nighttime routine. Give the power away to potentially finding true friendship or true love or your true purpose in life by dropping your protective barrier, and give the power away and trust the process that I could potentially get hurt here, but I could potentially find the most coolest thing in the world that is going to fill up my bucket and actually make me happy. That could be in the form of a job. Like, lads, I left a really good paying job to do what I'm doing now. I'm getting paid part-time wages right now because I'm still building my business. But I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. Like, I'm really happy. And like, I went all in with friendships and with people and with things that could potentially destroy me. Some of them did destroy me, but I learned lessons. But some of them, I've the most amazing friendships in the world because I dropped my barrier. I dropped my protective wall. So guys, how about if ye dropped your protective wall off? If I go all in, what about if I fail? Who cares? I was saying that to my son this morning. He got 57% in a test and I went, I think that's actually good. Once you keep over the 50%, that's good. And I said, never stop learning, Nathan. I said, never stop learning. And I said, what happens if you do learn? You'll grow. And I said, but if you're sitting on your arse in your room, on your phone and on the computer, you're not growing. I said, me and your dad are constantly learning and constantly growing, constantly making mistakes, constantly getting disappointed, constantly getting destroyed because we're constantly letting down our barrier for growth and in the hopes that each time I find something I love, even though something destroyed me, I find the lesson and I find that little thing that I loved about that person or that thing, and I'm going, I'm so glad that happened. So guys, I'm up now doing my morning routine again, and I found my love again of the sky, the frosty morning. I'm so full this morning, and it's not even 9 o'clock that I want to go in now, and I have the discipline and motivation. I have the discipline from getting up, and now I have that motivation that I'm going to have a brilliant day, lads. So there you go. Going to talk about this tonight in the 8-week call. I have a lovely little presentation done for you about, you know, sometimes we have to lean in. If you think we're going to fail and I think it's going to potentially destroy us based on past experiences, that's just a wall of protective barrier we've up. It could be actually the most coolest thing that you could possibly do in the world if you let down your barrier and go all in and just be vulnerable and be yourself. It might just be the coolest thing in the world. Because guys, how can you go all in? Like if you have a protective barrier up, like you can't go all in. You can't go all in when you have the protective barrier up. So if you tried to lose weight in the past and you failed, maybe you didn't go all in, and maybe you weren't being vulnerable enough and being truthful enough to yourself of why it didn't work. Or maybe you were black or white. Maybe you were following a plan too strictly, and I'm going to talk about this tonight because I've been getting messages from Ollie, which is brilliant. And the more messages you give me, it actually enables me to grow as a person, because I see your struggles. So you need to message me in order so I can see your struggles, because it helps me grow as a person so I can see your struggles, because not everyone's struggles are the same. So are you black and white, that you're following everything to a T and you're not giving yourself some wiggle room? As in, is this food 200 calories or is it 300 calories? It doesn't matter. Just log it. It doesn't matter, because once you're logging it, you're being accountable to yourself. You're bringing that discipline into it. And when you bring that discipline into it, motivation builds, because motivation doesn't fucking exist, lads. It really doesn't. Like, motivation means, oh, I'll do this today because I like it. No, because sometimes you don't like it. So you have to build the discipline, which means doing hard things. But what I want you to find tonight on our call, and what I want you to take from our call, is find the grey area within the black and white. As in, does it really matter if it's 200 or 300 calories? No, just log it. That's finding the grey area, and that's being okay with being flexible. Does that make sense? But it's building the discipline by just logging the food first, and building your knowledge and building the discipline and building the motivation. And then when the motivation builds, you see results. And then when results come, you're like, Jesus Christ, this actually works. And it works because I kept the discipline. I didn't wait for motivation to happen, because the food isn't going to land in your fridge. Nobody's going to log the food for you. Nobody's going to do the walk for you. Nobody's going to do the breathing for you. I'm here to encourage you and grow with you, because I'm growing with you. Remember that. I'm growing with you. And that's why I said to my son this morning, you should never, ever, ever stop learning and growing as a human being, and be okay with making bloody mistakes, because he's afraid to make mistakes. And his anxiety's gone up to 90 because he's afraid to make mistakes in case he gets in trouble. I said, who's going to give out to you? I'm not. I want you to make mistakes, is what I said to him in the car this morning. I want you to go out and shift girls. I want you to go out and drink alcohol in the fields like we all did. Make your mistakes and get caught by the guards. Do what you have to do in order to grow. Learn your lessons and grow. And he just looked at me and and I was there. Yes, Nathan, that's called growth. Let's not be afraid of it. The biggest lessons I ever learned was the times I got in deep shit. And they were the biggest lessons I ever learned, when I sat there and reassessed my life and went, oh, okay, this is what I need to learn from this, and this is what I need to do to go forward, not backwards. So guys, I'll leave it at this. Sometimes you have to give away your power to something. Drop your barrier and give away your power to something, love, which potentially will help you grow. And that could be walks, exercise, morning routine, nighttime routine, going all in with yourself, number one. So drop the barrier with yourself, number one, and go all in loving yourself first, and building up routines first. Because guys, only you, so what if you destroy yourself every now and again? That's okay. Still go all in and drop the barrier of failure. So what? We all fail. I'd love to be way better than what I am. I'd love to be studying more than what I am. I'd love to be learning more than what I am. And I'd love to be helping more people than what I am. But I have to drop the barrier of protection and just go, I'm just going all in. So what if I fail? So what if an email doesn't go out? So what? I'm just going all in and doing my best of what I can do. Don't wait for the world to serve you, lads. You serve the world. And put your best foot forward all of the time. Now, see you tonight on the 8-week call. See you at 1:30 for the check-in today. If you haven't checked in for the fitness, I shall see you at 1:30. And the 8-week guys, I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock. And show up. Come on. You do have time.